10 lesser-known murder mysteries that remain unsolved. Welcome to Lee Daxia Fun Facts. Here are the most interesting things for you. If you like it, please subscribe to me and open the reminder button so that you can see my video even if you like. Murder. The word alone is enough to send cold shivers down your spine. Just the thought that some people out there kill for pleasure could be enough to make you never want to step outside again. No one wants to fall victim to a psycho's fantasies. No one wants to be shot, stabbed, strangled, poisoned or pushed off a bridge. Terrifyingly, however, people are killed like this around the world every single day. They are shot in a fit of rage, stabbed out of jealousy, strangled in a moment of insanity or pushed off a bridge when no one is looking. The aftermath of terrible incidents like this leaves family and friends devastated and harried detectives working around the clock to find the killer. Some murder cases are solved within days, some within decades. Some are never solved. 10. Arthur Buddy Schumacher. 8-year-old Arthur Lewis Buddy Schumacher was a lively, happy child. He attended Lincoln Elementary School in Wauwatosa, Wisconsin and had many friends. On the 24th of July 1925 he and some boys from his neighborhood jumped on a freight train to hitch a ride to the local swimming hole. That was the last time Buddy was seen alive. When he failed to return home later that day, he was reported missing by his family. Police, together with the community, searched the surrounding area non-stop for 7 weeks. Then, a mere mile from his home, Buddy's remains were found partially hidden underneath some bushes. His clothing had been torn and a handkerchief protruded from his throat. He had also been sexually assaulted and mutilated. Police investigations eventually led to the arrest of a drifter in the Wauwatosa area, but when witnesses later retracted their statements, he was released. No one else was ever arrested in connected with the brutal murder. The mystery remains unsolved and the Schumachers are yet to get any closure regarding the loss of their only son. 9. Elaine Nix. Being a typical teenager in 1999, 18-year-old Elaine Nix called her boyfriend Billy just about every day. Since she lived in Georgia and he in Cleveland, the phone charges quickly racked up to $75 in a single month. Soon Elaine's mother blocked long-distance calls from their line and told her daughter she would have to make another plan to get in touch with Billy. Unperturbed, Elaine started driving to Zach's Food Rack to use their payphone, which cost her only 35 cents for unlimited talk time. The couple got into a routine whereby Elaine would call around 11 p.m. and they would talk for around an hour, after which she would drive back home. On the 20th of September 1999, Elaine and Billy spoke for an hour about an upcoming camping trip. When they hung up, Billy assumed Elaine would drive back home as per usual. Unfortunately, Elaine never made it home. Her parents weren't overly concerned at first, since Elaine frequently stayed over with friends and family instead of driving home. However, when their daughter didn't show up for work the following day, they knew something was wrong. Driving past Zach's Food Rack, they spied her car in the parking lot, key still in the ignition, driver's window rolled down. On the passenger seat sat Elaine's purse and a packet of cigarettes. Elaine's mother drove the car home, unknowingly destroying potential evidence. After the teenager was reported missing by her parents, roadblocks were set up while her family searched the area around the restaurant. 9 days after her disappearance, an unnamed person cutting the grass behind a park made a tragic discovery: Elaine's body, naked and badly decomposed, lying just inside the tree line. She had been killed and dumped 17 miles from the payphone she frequented. An official cause of death was never established due to the advanced decomposition of the remains, yet theories surfaced that Elaine Nix had been strangled or smothered. A murder investigation was opened, but a lack of leads and evidence led to the case running cold within a few years. To date, no arrests have been made and Elaine's killer may still be on the loose. 8. Jenny Lo Chong. 19-year-old Jenny Lo Chong was a student at San Francisco State University in 1977. She took her studies seriously and booked a study session in the library basement, to which she headed at 6 p.m. on the 11th of September 1977. When her roommate awoke the following morning and saw that Jenny hadn't returned to the dorm room and her bed had not been slept in, she reported her missing. Only 3 hours had passed when one of the professors at the university discovered Jenny's naked body in the reading room on the 4th floor. Her head showed signs of a severe beating, she had multiple stab wounds and there was evidence of sexual assault. Several pieces of furniture in the room were broken, which pointed to a struggle, and her clothes and books were placed next to her body. It was pointed out during investigations that someone would have had to open the door to the reading room for Jenny as it would have been locked at around 5 p.m. on a Sunday. 200 school staff members and 1,200 faculty members possessed keys and coded cards that could unlock that particular door. Despite the number of potential suspects, only 2 were ever questioned, a campus security guard and a faculty member. Some people were convinced the Zodiac Killer was the culprit. Nothing ever came of police investigations, and over 40 years later, Jenny's murder remains a mystery. 7. Don Henry and Kevin Ives. On the 23rd of August 1987, a cargo train was traveling through Alexander, Arkansas when the driver saw something on the tracks ahead. As the train closed in on the object, he could see it was a body. He then realized that there were in fact 2 bodies lying across the tracks, in the way of his oncoming train. Attempting desperately to stop and blowing the horn incessantly, the driver almost succeeded in avoiding hitting the bodies, but unfortunately the train's momentum caused it to roll over them. An investigation revealed that the bodies were those of 16-year-old Don Henry and 17-year-old Kevin Ives. Initially it was suspected that the boys had fallen asleep on the tracks due to heavy use of marijuana. However, both sets of parents insisted that a second autopsy be conducted. Eventually a pathologist realized that the marks on Don Henry's shirt were consistent with a stabbing injury, and that Kevin Ives' skull had been crushed possibly by the rifle he used to hunt with. Some witnesses claimed to have seen a man dressed in military attire a week before the train incident as well as the same day the train hit the boys. One theory had it that the boys may have stumbled across a drug-dealing operation and had been murdered for it. Police investigated all possible leads but they all led to a dead end. To date, the boys' killer remains unknown. 6. Zygmunt Adamski. 56-year-old Zygmunt Adamski left his home in Tingley, near Wakefield in June 1980 and set off on a walk to the local store to do some shopping. He never returned. A search effort ensued and Zygmunt's body was located 5 days later at a coal yard in Todmorden. Lying on top of a heap of coal, the body was dressed in a suit but no shirt. His wallet and watch were also missing. The coroner inspected several burns on the back of Zygmunt's head, neck and shoulders but could not determine the cause thereof. The coroner was also puzzled by the fact that Zygmunt barely had a 5 o'clock shadow even though he had been missing for 5 days. Furthermore, forensic experts determined that a type of ointment had been rubbed onto the burn wounds but could not establish the exact kind. In a very strange turn of events, a well-known ufologist in the area claimed that Zygmunt had been abducted by aliens. This speculation was fueled by the policeman who found Zygmunt's body, Alan Godfrey. Godfrey claimed to have personally encountered a UFO. Shortly after this revelation, he quit his job and started a new career as a motivational speaker. Godfrey also claimed that Zygmunt died of a heart attack, but this did not explain how he got on top of a coal pile nor why he was lying face down, as his positioning meant he would have had to have been deposited from above. Despite a thorough police investigation, Zygmunt's killer was never found and what exactly happened to him remains a mystery. The remaining 5 will be mentioned next time. If you like my channel, please subscribe to me and you will not get lost.